Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at our post-Duelist Nexus list for our Mikanko deck and with the new cards from Duelist Nexus. So let's jump right into it. Alright guys, so we're just going to jump straight into it again. So the first thing we're going to be looking at are our hand traps, and we run 3 Ash Blossom of Joyous Springs. I believe this is the most versatile hand trap that we have. A lot of decks at the moment doing a lot of searching, and it really is required for decks such as Branded, so we can hit the Branded Fusion. So that's 3 Ash Blossom. The next thing then we're going to look at is the Kaiju package. So in previous deck lists I ran 5 Kaijus, this time it's 3. So we run 1 Dogoran the Mad Flame, 1 Star Destruction Kaiju, and then 1 Lightning Strike Kaiju. That's because we replaced the other 2 with 2 Lava Golem. So why do we have 2 Lava Golem instead of another 2 Kaiju? That is because a lot of decks tend to have a lot more setup on the field these days. A lot of combo decks such as Vanadium on the board. Pearly tends to get 2 monsters out now as well. So just a lot of monsters that we need to tribute 2 monsters for. 1 is fine most occasions, but sometimes you need that 2 tributes, and that's what the Lava Golem is for. So moving on again, we have Diviner of the Herald. So we run 2 of the Diviner. For those who don't know what Diviner does, it can send cards from the extra deck to help us in situations. Mainly send Herald of the Arclight to search for our Ohime or the Ritual spell, or now as well the Arahime. But it also can send Antis, which lets us destroy a card on the field. The main card that we tend to destroy seems to be Anti-Spell Fragrance. And then we move on to the ratios of the Mikankos. So in this version of the deck, we run 2 of the Huli, 2 of the Hare, 2 of the Huli, and 1 of the Nini. So in previous versions of the deck, I have run 3 Hare, but now we need to make more room in the deck to incorporate the new ritual monster. So the Hares are searcher, our Hulis are basically stall on the field. This Huli being the strongest one, honestly, and Nini is a one of in case you need to set up that first turn play as our quick effect Snatch Steal. We then obviously run our 3 Ohime in the deck, which is our boss monster really, and yeah, there's no explanation. That's just 3 of 1 Arahime. Now Arahime has been testing okay, it's very situational, but the reason I like to have our 1 Arahime over our 3 Hare is because we can search the Arahime with Preparation of Rites. So if we already have our Ohime in hand, then we can use our Preparation of Rites to search for the Arahime. Moving on to the equip spells then, we run 3 of the Water Obelisk, the most powerful equip spell in the deck. Help us either remove an opponent's monster or return one of our own, depending on what we need to do. To special summon out a Mikanko, either the Hare or the Huli, or very situationally, the Nini. We run 2 Mikanko Fire Dance. Mikanko Fire Dance in this instance, we run it 2 because we run the Lava Golems. If we use the Lava Golem, we cannot normal summon our Mikankos, so the Fire Dance is there to help us special summon them out from either the grave or hand. We can also special summon an opponent's monster to attack into. We were on 1 Mariashidori in this deck. Previous version we ran 2, but that was due to the fact that we ran 3 Hare, so that we could normal summon the Hare and equip the Mariashidori from hand to allow us to search. Now that the Hare is down to 2, I believe Mariashidori down to 1 is fine, as Mariashidori is very searchable either through the Great Ceremony, sending it to the grave, or through the Ohime, adding it to hand. We run 1 Mikanko Reflection Rondo. The Mikanko Reflection Rondo is in the deck as a one-of, mainly to help us interrupt the opponent's plays, either through the use of Great Ceremony, sending it to the grave, combined with the Ohime's quick effect to equip it to the opponent's monster, or through the use of the trap card Mikanko Rivalry, which will allow us to activate the Mikanko Reflection Rondo from the deck and equip it to the opponent's monster. Where you run 1 Purification Dance. Purification Dance is just a nice card to have in hand to equip to one of our Mikankos if we can just normal summon it out. It is very situational again, and it is a one of in the deck, but it has been performing quite well in this deck, mainly against things like Vanquished Souls. And our last 2 are going to be the Axe of the Fools and our double-edged swords. So these are both one-ofs in the deck as well. Axe the Fools being like our imperm of the deck, combined with the Mikanko Rivalry. So we activate Mikanko Rivalry, equip an Axe the Fools to the opponents, which will then shut off the opponent's effects, and our double-edged sword for our OTK potential. For those who don't know how double-edged sword works, the monster gains 2,000 attack, but we both take battle damage. But in a Mikanko deck, we cannot take the battle damage, so it is also reflected to an opponent's monster. So if an opponent's monster has 2,000 attack and we equip double-edged sword, it raises the attack to 4,000. We attack with our Mikankos, whichever Mikanko it is, and the damage is then reflected as 8,000 damage for game. So it's a very nice way to steal games. Definitely one of them in the deck, I believe, just to kind of steal things. Moving on to our support spells then, we have 3 Preparation of Rites. So Preparation of Rites, simply search out our ritual monsters. Obviously our main target will be the Ohime, but if we have the Ohime already in hand, we can use the Preparation of Rites to search for the new Ohime. We then run 2 of the Great Ceremony. I believe 2 is the great number instead of 3. The games will never go long enough that you will have to require 3. So 2 is just a very good number. So this just lets you special summon any Mikanko from your hand. And then if we can banish it from the grave, we can send a card to the graveyard. Our 2 main targets are either Mary Ashidori or the Rando. We tend to also, we can, if we have the Great Ceremony in hand and the Ohime in hand, we can use the Ohime to search Mary Ashidori and send a Mary Ashidori to grave from hand by the Ohime effect. Special summon, and then we can banish this to send any Mikanko to the grave, and then use the Mary Ashidori to special summon from the grave. So, Great Ceremony, very strong card in the deck. We are a 1-of though on the Mikanko Kagura. Mikanko Kagura is a 1-of in the deck. It does ritual summon the monsters, but it's very, very situational. Like if you're gonna pick this over the Great Ceremony. Now it has won me a few games that little bit of extra burn damage towards the end. In the late game, it is just a nice way to finish the opponent. So that's why I like having it as a 1-of. And then our last spells in the deck are 3 Pot of Extravagance for searching. Very self-explanatory here. Just for that extra draw, as we don't really use the extract too much. And 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. Harpy's Feather is very self-explanatory. There's a lot of trapped decks currently in the meta, such as Labyrinth, Trap Tricks, and now Altergeist with post-DUNE. And then finally, the last 2 cards of the deck are Mikanko Rivalry and our Mikanko Spirit Walk being the new trap card. So Rivalry is mainly to equip cards such as Rondo and Axe of the Fools to our opponent during their turn so we can interrupt their players. And Spirit Walk just lets us take our opponent's monster and equip it to a Mikanko. Both very strong cards in the deck and definitely 1-ofs in the deck. Yeah. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's jump into the extra deck. Alright, starting with the extra deck, we have 2 Herald of the Arclight. This is our main dump with Diviner of the Herald, basically letting us search for our Ohimes, Ohime, or Ritual Spell card. We then run 1 Power Tool Braver Dragon. We run 1 Power Tool Braver Dragon as we can set up OTKs with this card if the opponent's board is clear, which a lot of players seem to think is the answer to Mikanko. We can go in the Power Tool Braver Dragon with our Diviner of the Herald and 1 level 3 Mikanko. If we search out the equip card, a double-edged sword with this, we can attack with a Power Tool Braver Dragon for 4,500. By effect of the double-edged sword, it is then destroyed as we also receive the damage, which is 2,000 or more. And then with an Ohime on the field, we can quick effect the Ohime to equip it with the double-edged sword and attack for another 4,000 for 8,500 damage. And that is the OTK of that card. We then run 1 Infernal Knight Captain Roland. This is a 1 of the extra deck mainly because of things like Ash Blossom and Effect Failure on the Diviner of the Herald. So then we just have a level 2 tuner. If we can go into Infernal Knight Captain Roland with any of the level 3 Mikankos, and then it lets us search out the equip and the Fire Warrior, as well acts as a tuner to go into other things as well. And then we run 1 Chen Ying. The reason we run 1 Chen Ying is because we tend to steal a lot of an opponent's monsters. If we can steal anything to combo off with our Diviner, we can go into our level 10 Chen Ying. And with Chen Ying in the deck, combined with the Mary Yashidori effect to banish, we can pop things in the field. So it's just a nice 1-of to have in the extra deck. It is something we can remove if we need to put anything else in the deck, but for now, that's what it is. The only fusion we run in the deck then is our Elder Entity Entis. This is our one-off in the deck for destruction if we choose to go it over Herald of the Arclight. This destroys one card on the field when sent to the graveyard. So we can use it to destroy things such as anti-spell fragrance, but we can also use it to bait out negations, so we can always use it to bait out of our own negation or anything like that. And then our exceeds in the deck, we have Break Sword, Phantom Knight, the Leviair the Sea Dragon, our Gaia Dragon Thunder Charger, and of course our Zeus. So very self-explanatory here. Just a nice level 3 exceed that we can go into if need be, and it can destroy an equipped spell to destroy one card. We have Leviair. Now with Maria's Story Banishing, we can bring back one of our removed from play Mikankos. Gaia the Thunder Charger. So if we steal an opponent's rank 6 or 7 exceed, we can take it and, or sorry, 5 and 6 I believe. Sorry, yes, rank 5 and rank 6 we can steal and overlay and keep the guy on the field. And then of course Zeus is similar to Gaia. If we take an opponent's monster and attack with it, we can then use Zeus to remove that monster from the field and leave us with a Zeus. So very strong indeed. And our last card links, the last cards in the extract are link cards, and we run one each of the Charmer cards. So this is because we take control of so many opponent's monsters, we can link off with them to remove them from the field, instead of giving the control back to the opponent if that is to happen. As we don't use the extract too much, these are very situational, but when they do work, they work. They have won me many a game, mainly the Hita and the Win have won me many games. And I believe Dark's won me a few local games as well. So definitely a nice little tack to have. Finally, let's talk about the side deck. So our side deck then consists of 3 Cosmic Cyclone. Our main targets for this are going to be always the Anti-Spell Fragrance, which is decided in Game 3. But I have found the need of it now for Epidemic Virus with the Vanquish Souls now showing up. So definitely a 3 of in the deck. We then run 3 of There Can Be Only One. All the Mikankos, bar the new Arahime and Ohime, are different typings. There Can Be Only One is such a strong card in the deck. It's definitely going, if you know you're going first or your opponent's definitely choosing you to go first, this is definitely something you want to side in. Our next card then is Drone Unlock. Yeah, Drone Lock, not much to say. Just a very strong card in the format, stopping most decks, such as Meridium, such as, yeah, just anything really searches heroes, etc. So Drone Lock, definitely a strong card. With all the trap decks now showing up, we run 3 Royal Decree, as it doesn't really affect us in this format. We only run 2 traps in the deck, which are searchable, so we can always draw into our Royal Decree and activate when necessary. So Royal Decree is mainly in for cards such as Labyrinth cards, such as Trap Tricks, and also the new Altergeist deck. And finally, we run 2 Lightning Storms. Again, it's for that back row removal that we may need. And our final card then is our Double-Edged Sword. So a 1-of Double-Edged Sword in the side as Lightning Storm is now down to 2. It's very nice. It has won me many games. Knowing when to switch it out is basically it's one of the things you'll have to learn in the deck. So I'll give you an example. If you're playing Castira, your Purification Dance in the main deck is not very useful. Going into Game 2 and Game 3, you want to side out the Purification Dance for the Double-Edged Sword. If you hard draw the Double-Edged Sword, you have won that game. The Castira cards can't really do much against you unless you activate cards that do certain things. If you just activate Great Ceremony to get Ohime and equip an opponent's monster with a Double-Edged Sword, you win that game. So it's that kind of thing. It's one of those things you need to learn what decks you can play your 2 Double-Edged Sword into and take advantage of it. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos going forward, and I will see you guys next time.